Hi there, lovelies. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for deciding to join me in this video. As you have read from the title, today I'm gonna talk more in depth about my latest book. And if you have already seen my previous video, you already know that my book looks like this gorgeous creation of mine that I'm absolutely in love with. So what I wanted to talk about today is a little bit more about the story, because I have gotten a lot of questions asking me if this story is in a way similar to the fan fictional movies I did a few years ago. And to answer that, I have to say sadly no, because back in the day my fan fictional movies were mainly romance, young adult. However, this book is in the fantasy genre. It's full on fantasy with magic, adventure, battles, war, and all of that. And that's why, no, it's not absolutely nothing like my old story. However, it does have a hint of romance, but it's not the absolute main focus of the story. So, I want to start with telling you a little bit more about this book. So I have created my own fantasy world called the Kingdom of Funarim, and when you open the book, you actually get a small map that was made by me, and this will be a navigator. It's easier for you to navigate in the story. So the story takes place in this kingdom. The royal family is being slaughtered by a mysterious man, and no one knows who he is or where he comes from. And when the king is killed, his army commanders, alongside with his sister-in-law, take his youngest kid, his daughter, to safety in the human world, where she is to live the rest of her life, while her kingdom falls under dictatorship from the man who has decided to kill the royal family. And nearly 2 decades later, the army commanders decide to bring back the young princess, who is a in her who hasn't even turned 20 yet. She's still in her late teens, and they decide that they want her to come back to the kingdom in order to start a war that's gonna take millions of lives. However, they decided at this point it's now or never, because the man who has taken over the kingdom, he's called Darken, and that's how they call him for the rest of the book. And he has started ruling with such cruelty. He's been killing people for the past decades, and that's why the army commanders decided it's time for them to take action. The young princess is old enough to take the throne and to start leading the army. However, when they bring her to the kingdom, she in a way refuses. She's afraid of this. She doesn't want to take part of a war or be a part of a kingdom she doesn't know. So when she starts going back, the way they used to transport her from the human world to their kingdom is through a portal. And that's where the main antagonist shows up and moves the portal somewhere in the kingdom, forcing the young princess in a way to start a freakish game where she has to basically find the portal or she's going to die. And basically the story is her going from place to place, searching for the portal, meeting new people, meeting the army commanders, fighting the monsters, because it's a fantasy. We have monsters. Of course we have monsters. It's a freaking fantasy book. And she fights off monsters, she meets people, and in a way she learns more about her kingdom and she decides what she wants to do. I don't want to spoil too much of the story. I just give you the basic beginning, and that's basically a few of the things you will learn when you read here on the back cover and the summary. So it's basically not spoiling that much, but I'm just kind of giving you a little bit more extra information. Yes, the good part is this book, The Crossing Pit, is gonna be the first book in a trilogy. So I have two more coming right after this one, and the second book will be out in 2020. So stay tuned for that. The trilogy will be called The Sunless Kingdom. And why the Sunless Kingdom? I mean, you will know more when you start reading into the story, but basically the Sunless Kingdom, it says we don't have sun. And people who are into physics have questioned me, but it's fantasy, it's magic, please don't question my world. I worked really hard on it. And yeah, basically that's about the story. A little bit about the story I wanted to tell you about. I'm absolutely so excited about this. And this book is coming out this Saturday, November 23rd. If you're watching this in the future and it's past that, you can already get this. You can get it in both paperback and Kindle. Can you imagine it? And we have worldwide shipping. That means that if you are anywhere from Alaska to Japan, we can ship it to you guys. As long as you follow the link in the description, you can decide if you want to order a paperback or a Kindle format. Absolutely amazing, absolutely in love with the team that helped me make this possible, and I'm more than pleased. Another few things I wanted to talk about in this video is I have mentioned that I have spent a good 7 years working on this story, and I want to talk more about that. I started writing this story when I was turning 14, like I was in the end of my 13th year, turning 14, so I was quite young. I since then have rewritten this book more than 50 times because I was never pleased with the story. Absolutely never. The biggest mistake I did in the beginning is I didn't start writing in English. I started writing in my native language, which is Bulgarian, which is kind of difficult language if you are Bulgarian and you know it. And the translation to English is not that easy. And it was only a few years later when I decided to start translating the book. That on itself took a good year and a half because the book is quite big. It's over 100,000 words per book, and there are 3 books. And I had to translate all of them because translators cost money, and I was a teenager who wasn't working, so it was easier for me to do it on my own. The other thing is, the reason I started writing this story is a little bit personal, but I want to share it with you. During that time, my parents were working in another country, which meant I was left to be taken care of by my grandparents. Don't take me wrong, I love both my grandparents and my parents. They did what they had to do in order to raise me, and I never blamed them for them. However, because of me being a more creative child, me being a little bit of a taller, a bit heavier, I was bullied a lot. And writing for me was a way to cope with things, and I absolutely fell in love with the idea of writing. And then came my YouTube channel and fan fictional movies, and that was also a really big help for me. And the main character of my story, Alexandra, she became my alter ego for a moment, for a long moment actually. And it was not until after I was finished writing the 3rd book that I realized that she is her own character and she's not a part of me anymore. I'm telling her story, a story that I have created, and a story that I absolutely adore. So in a way, this book, this entire story, the story of this young princess fighting for herself and for a kingdom she belongs to, is something that made me believe that I can do anything in life. It made me believe that I can make my dreams come true in a way. And right now I am. I never actually thought I would be able to publish this book because I have sent this story to multiple publishing companies, being rejected multiple times. However, now I'm taking things into my own hands. I'm doing it on my own. I'm self-publishing this book right now, and like I said, I cannot be more pleased with the results. So, with Christmas approaching, let's get a little bit. Christmas is approaching, Thanksgiving is upon us. Well, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but for all of you who celebrate, Happy Thanksgiving! I think it's passed already. And this book can be a great present for Christmas. If you have younger siblings that are above the age of 10, I believe that they will enjoy this book because it is an easy read. It's easy to read for all ages, it's easy to understand. However, it's a lovely book. I'm being biased because I wrote it, I'm in love with the story, but I believe that people from all ages will be able to enjoy the story. And like I said, with the date of the publication approaching, like it's in 2 days, I'm absolutely ecstatic. And you can also go and get your own copy. And as I mentioned, thank you so much. I don't think that I would have been able to create the story if it wasn't the support that all of you have shown me when I was first starting my channel and starting making my stories. So I want to thank you so much for the support that you showed me, because you proved to me, you guys proved to me that I am able to create a story. And I want to thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Because of your positive feedbacks, I was inspired to work harder on my stories, and I created so many of them. And this right now, this story, The Crossing Pit, this book in my hands, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than this channel. It's my life's work. It's something that I will always be proud of, because it's proof you can do things if you set your mind to it. Because this amazing book is my proof. It's proof for you guys as well, that if you guys believe, you can achieve anything, everything. And not only that, this is not the only book. We also have the Hummingbird Effect. Those are two books that have proven to me that I am able to create stuff. I'm able to create a story. I'm able to make a dream come true. Again, both books, both The Hummingbird Effect and The Crossing Pit, will be available worldwide shipping. Just follow the link below, both paperback and Kindle format. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.